Welcome. In today's presentation, we are going to look at the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, or as some would put it, the Gospel according to Mary Magdalene. And this was discovered in pieces in northern Egypt. A principal portion was found in a 5th century Coptic papyrus, and other fragments were discovered in different Greek writings. Now, this text is incomplete. Several pages are missing, and it's difficult to reconstruct the document. Also, this gospel presents Mary as a central figure in the teachings of Jesus. And the thing I like about the Gnostic writings is that they focus on wisdom, information. They focus on the interior, the mind, whereas traditional religions focus on acts. Being nice, following the rules, following the commandments, and such. But the Gnostics were different. And this was also believed to be one of the earliest accounts of Jesus' ministry, which, of course, was suppressed by the traditional religion. And we have to keep in mind that when the church was being formulated, I should say, when it was being organized, one of the chief competitors of Christianity was Gnosticism. Therefore, like any other power, they sought to repress those writings. In fact, they demonized Mary Magdalene, which was typical of the females at that time. Now, we're going to explore just a small line on this, and it begins with, well, it's not that it begins. As I said earlier, the writing is in fragments, and this particular fragment is the tail end of a conversation. We don't know who is talking, but here is the question that was posed. Will matter then be destroyed or not? And they're talking about the flesh, the body. And the Savior responded with all nature, all formations, all creatures exist in and with one another. And they will be resolved again into their own roots. For the nature of matter is resolved into the roots of its own nature. He who has ears to hear, let them hear. And this last part means that he who is able to understand, let them understand. And before we start looking at just this little tidbit here that I found to be profound, I want to remind you that in the Gospel of Philip, it is written that the Christ taught, or rather, I want to add that the Christ spoke in a mystery of all things. Therefore, this is a mystery. It's like the stories that he told in the Gospels. All that exists is alive. All that is alive is a part of each other. You and I are a part of each other. The drink that you have next to you is a part of you. The stone that you pull out of your sandal is a part of you. All exist and with one another. Those whom we dislike are part of us. And what we dislike about them is what we dislike about ourselves. Consider that, because that is potent. Just right there. That is potent. When we look at what is happening across the globe or across the country with the dismantling of a variety of public services and such, a rewriting of history, tariffs being imposed, and a lot of us are angry. And what we are angry about is not that the legislature is allowing this to happen. It's that we, as participants in our governing system, elected, supported, gave a portion of our energy and power to these people. We are angry that we participated in this. What we dislike about others is what we dislike about ourselves. And if we continue in this thought, then those powers that we despise are the same powers within each despiser. All that you despise exists within you, and you have yet to reconcile it, because once it is reconciled, it no longer disturbs you. We dislike the way the government treats immigrants. And why is that? It is because at one time, each of us, you, myself, may have treated those who we saw as being different in a similar fashion. I know I have. And since I have, I can only assume, and safely assume at that hundreds of others have as well. It's not the deportation of the immigrants that disturbs me. In fact, none of it disturbs me. And why does it not disturb me? It is because I have reconciled that aspect of myself. A person can only despise and hate that which they are familiar with. Because if you are not familiar with it, you don't know what it is. But if you are familiar with it, then you recognize it. And if you have not reconciled it within you, then you will become angry and want to lash out. A person can only despise and hate that which they have not reconciled within themselves. Each of you has been treated in a similar fashion, and in kind have treated others in a similar fashion. I have been treated in a similar fashion. May not be as an immigrant. I have a cognitive disability, which means that I have to record these presentations early in the day when I am able to function. And because of my disability, as the day wears on, my ability to function grows less and less. And I have been dismissed because of it. I have been treated poorly because of it. And I'm sure each of you has your own story to share about it. And the only time that it angers you is because you have not reconciled it, you do not understand it, you do not comprehend your role in whatever is happening with you. And because you don't understand it, you become upset, you become angered by it. So a person can only despise and hate that which they have not reconciled within themselves. Each time you were treated in a similar fashion, you took offense. I took offense. I know you took offense. We are more alike than you would like to know, because this is the United States. And what is it that we take pride in? We go to great lengths to be different from everybody else. And because we go to great lengths to be different from everybody else, we are just like everybody else. And why is that? Because very few of us know who we are and express who we are, because we're too busy trying to be something that we're not. We're too busy trying to be something that somebody else says we are supposed to be. So each time we were treated in a similar fashion and we took offense, some of you may have lashed out. Others may have spoken out, thinking that they have reconciled this and you must speak on behalf of others. But if you speak on behalf of others in anger, you have not reconciled it. Because a person who has reconciled what it is that is motivating them, there's no need for anger. They speak very calm. They present themselves in a calm manner. Some might say emotionless, but in a very controlled manner. If you feel the need to lash out, then you have not reconciled what is happening within you. Why do you speak on behalf of others? You do not know. You may not know. You may think you know, but do you know? Or are you still reconciling these differences that you experience, these experience within you? Those who have reconciled such emotions are more likely to act on the behalf of those who are being mistreated, or better yet, are able to give warning to others and aid them in reconciling such emotions. All will be resolved into their own roots. That is what is written here. All will be resolved into their own roots. All will find the solution to the ailments, problems, complaints, everything that's going on with them that disrupts them. They will find the solutions within themselves. You want to know how to resolve conflicts that may be happening? You cannot resolve another person's reactions. You can only resolve your own. One of the ways you can resolve these issues is through meditation. Meditation is learning how to observe. And through meditation, you observe past events, you observe your actions. And through observing your actions, you ask questions of yourself. And as yourself responds, you begin to dig into the cause of your reaction. You can only reconcile what you have done, what you have said, what you have projected, your reactions. You can only reconcile your actions from the past with who you are today. In essence, the only thing you can do is accept that you did, you participated, you played your role in whatever event that initiated this anger that you held on to. You can only reconcile that aspect. You can only accept, yes, I did this. Yes, I screwed up. What can I do? What can I do to reconcile this? You can say this to the other person. You can say this to yourself. You can talk out loud. You can write. There is a good paper. It's in Al Rappaport's Buddhism in America. And the title of the paper is Feeding the Demons. And the author has an excellent way of resolving, of reconciling these types of issues that we all carry with us. It's known as baggage. We all carry baggage. All that you may struggle against is not without. To believe it is without is to deny yourself peace and resolution. It is within. Your emotions are within. Your emotions are not out there. How these people out here influence you, that's all out there. And yes, that is true. That exists. How you feel about yourself typically comes from others. But why you do or have done what you did comes from within. It does not come from without. It comes from within because you are acting. It goes from within to without through your actions. And again, all that you despise in yourself. And as long as you put forth that your misery is from the actions of others, you will remain in misery. As long as you believe they are the cause for your actions, you will remain in misery because all actions come from within. Before you can act, you must be invested in the act itself. And when it comes to matter, what is matter but a collection of chemicals held together by empty space and your will? That is your body. Yes, the majority of it is composed of water, but the atoms and the molecules within it, there are empty spaces between there. And what is it that keeps all of this going? It is your will. Your will to survive is what keeps all of this going. All you have to do is read the anecdotal evidence that is out there. If you stuff your emotions down, you are creating illnesses. You are harming yourself. If you hold these things in, if you carry all this baggage around, if you carry all this anger around, you are making yourself sick. There is evidence that is out there. Unless, of course, you are one of those who is of the opinion that science is a fiction in and of itself. But it's because of science that I am able to present this to you. It is because of science that you are able to make these discoveries on your own. I just wrapped up a video, the last one I've got right now for the principle of attraction, and it talks about self-esteem, how your self-esteem influences what you are attracting and what you are broadcasting. Chronic self-esteem equals chronic depression, chronic pain. And what is chronic low self-esteem? It's all got to do with emotions. It's all got to do with emotions. When the will is impulsive, it is undisciplined and forever exhausted through the expenditure of anger, which is nothing more than emotional distress. When the will is disciplined, it sees the futility in all circumstances, and through reconciliation discovers true freedom, true enlightenment, true wisdom. Because what is reconciliation? It is the ability to accept the events that are happening. All you can do is accept them for what they are, because the only thing you have any control over is how you react to them. The disciplined mind accepts all that occurs to them, and then, through understanding and wisdom, proceeds to reshape the forces into something beautiful. The disciplined mind can take a horrible event and reshape it into something that can be beautiful. That is what all of this is about. The nature of matter is to return to that which it was before being spawned into something else. Which means this body that we are wearing here, that our soul has formulated around it, when it drops off, it has its own memory. And all those memories work its way into the soil until it is gathered again, bits and pieces gathered again, and reformed into another body for another soul, or rather, I should say, for another soul to gather all this matter and form it around itself into another body. And consider that that soul that is gathering all this other stuff, matter around its body and everything, it's got all these memories that are put into it. Do you want this body to be reabsorbed with horrible memories, with misery, with anger? Do you want that to happen? Do you want to contribute? I think the term is pay it forward to something beautiful. Then you make your life beautiful as it is today. You learn to accept. And through acceptance, you gain the power, the ability to reshape. The nature of matter is to return to that which it was before being spawned into something else. Thus, matter has its own memory, its own existence, its own nature. Therefore, as you are taught about the soul being everlasting, so is the body everlasting. What composes the body is once again resolved into its own nature, and then through divine creation is reshaped. It's a little something for you to consider. I hope you found this of use. If you have, please take a moment, like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. We explore a variety of topics. And I want to thank you for stopping by. And I want to wish you a wonderful day.